Welcome to the West Virginia Department of Agriculture's Homesteading series. In this series, WVDA planning coordinators collaborate with producers around the state to share the most up-to-date information on food prep, raising livestock, self-sufficient living skills, and much more for homesteading in the Mountain State. Their goal is to help people of all skill levels increase their knowledge for sustainable living or expand their farm business. The business development staff work to grow West Virginia agribusinesses and economy. West Virginia has a vibrant ecosystem of communities, small farms, and innovative organizations that support the agricultural economy. Our team's goal is to reach out with tools and partnerships to make potential businesses aware of the services and support the West Virginia Department of Agriculture and its partners can provide. Additionally, the business development team oversees our West Virginia Grown and Veterans and Heroes to Agriculture programs. WVDA planning coordinators act as local liaisons, coordinators, and facilitators helping develop agriculture projects and assist agribusinesses around the state. They participate in economic and business development efforts while addressing food insecurities and building resiliency in local communities. West Virginia Grown is the state's premier branding program for agriculture products. The West Virginia Grown logo indicates to buyers the product was grown and/or processed with quality ingredients in the Mountain State and that their dollars are going right back into their communities. We also offer marketing opportunities for West Virginia producers through our West Virginia Grown program. This program is free, and members gain access to the West Virginia Grown brand logo for labeling use on any eligible products. If you become a member, you'll be included in our producer database, our West Virginia Grown directory, market bulletin, and social media platforms. The business development team also includes the Veterans and Heroes to Agriculture program staff. Their priority is to provide support to veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, and first responders transitioning into agriculture via education, scholarships, mentorship opportunities, marketing, technical and business development support, and navigating available resources. The program seeks to further promote the development of agricultural industries, products, and marketing opportunities across the state.
Hi, I'm Ashley Amos, Planning Coordinator in the Business Development Division for the West Virginia Department of Agriculture. A lot of the calls we take have to do with home-based foods. So today I'm going to do a short overview of navigating sales and opportunities for your home-based food products. So if you want to start your very own business selling homemade food in West Virginia, the easiest is non-potentially hazardous foods, meaning they do not require time and temperature control. The great thing about making these food products is you can make them in your own home kitchen or community kitchen, and they do not need an inspection. So what are some of the examples of non-potentially hazardous food? These are things like your traditional jams and jellies, dried herbs and teas, apple butter, breads, honey, your syrups, tomatoes, things like that. This is a chart that we have in our farmers market vendor guide that lists out the types of food and what permits you need, if any. If you have a food item that you do not see on this list, you can reach out to us and we'll help make sure that it is a non-potentially hazardous food. So there are several opportunities for selling your non-potentially hazardous foods. For instance, if you have a bumper crop of tomatoes, you can do canned tomatoes because they are non-potentially hazardous, and you can sell it as a spaghetti sauce kit with like a garlic bulb and dried herbs. Another example is you can sell raspberries. You can extend your season by making jam or drying the leaves and selling tea. If you have something like a great family bread recipe, this is a good way to get customers without a huge upfront cost. So being able to use your home kitchen is a great way to start a side job. Let's talk about a few business tips when starting. You need to make sure that you follow the proper labeling guidelines And our farmers market vendor guide can tell you exactly how to do it and what you need. You need to figure out pricing. So you need to make sure to consider costs of materials, packaging, labeling, utility, and transportation costs. If you want to ensure that your business name is yours and yours alone, you should register it with the West Virginia Secretary of State. And you want to make sure to protect your assets with liability insurance because you are providing people with food from your home. You want to make sure you have good record keeping, a plan to scale up, and develop a business and marketing plan. So now that you have your products, where can you sell? So the good thing with cottage foods is you are not limited to only selling at farmers markets. You can take orders directly from customers, do online orders, home deliveries, partner with local retailers, farmers markets, or consignment farmers markets. The only thing you cannot do is sell these products outside of West Virginia, even if the products are delivered through mail. Our next type of home-based food is the potentially hazardous ones. So this means the food requires time and temperature control to keep the food safe for human consumption, or it's a food that contains moisture or any acidified foods. And these items can only be sold at registered farmers markets. So some examples of potentially hazardous foods are things like salsa, your cut produce, your non-traditional jams, such as like a hot pepper jelly, pickled products, acidified foods, and time and temperature controlled baked goods. So something like a cheesecake is a common one. So here's that chart again, as I mentioned earlier, that's in our farmers market vendor guide. So this will tell you what permits and requirements are needed for the different food items. And if you do look at that chart, you can see that if you want to do cut produce for things like samples or meal prep, you'll only need a farmers market vendor permit. And if you want to make and sell your own potentially hazardous foods, there are some steps you need to take first. You need to make sure you have a West Virginia Department of Ag farmers market permit, which also requires a kitchen inspection. You need to complete a training course, a letter of process authority, a WVDA label review. You need to have good record keeping of your produce and ingredients and test your water supply. This is an example of a potentially hazardous food label. So it has a nice graphic to grab your attention and includes all the required information so your customer knows exactly what they're buying. And the last thing I want to mention is a marketing opportunity through our West Virginia Grown program. This is a free program for producers around the state. And as a member, you can use our West Virginia Grown logo on your products, even things such as like meat. And we have marketing materials that you can purchase and use. You will be included in our producer database. You'll be included in our annually printed West Virginia Grown member directory. And then you'll have promotional coverage through our market bulletin and our social media platforms. So for additional resources, you can give us a call at the Business Development Division at 304-558-2210, and we can direct you to our Farmers Market Vendor Guide, our West Virginia Grown application, our Farmers Market Vendor Permit, as well as assist you with labeling and other services.